Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chris. You know me from Conversations with Chris, and now I'm the host of the Real Estate Podcast. And this podcast is brought to you by my homies over at NewToMedia.com. So go check them out. Each and every realtor that I'm looking at speaking with is going to be an amazing conversation. You guys are going to want to be here for this one. Trust me. Tune in, hit up New to Media, be on my show, the Real Estate Podcast. Let's do this thing. Namaste.
Community is pretty big here compared to, I'd say, the East Coast. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot more Asians out in the West Coast. I
Hmm.
lived in Santa Monica for a couple of years, and I've traveled to 47 countries, including
Oh,
lived
wow.
lived
Nice.
in, lived in Japan for 3 years. So I've been all over Asia and Indonesia and everywhere. So I've been
Wow.
around. Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen everything.
yeah, almost. I've been to the South Pole. I've been
Nice.
all the way around the world. I've traveled around the globe.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I've made some serious ground. I don't like cold weather, so I try to stay close to the
Same.
equator. So it's like, I'll travel to you, I'll teach, I'll speak, I'll do whatever you want as long as you're in a warm climate.
There you
so,
go.
so tell me about you. You're UCLA. Are you about to graduate? Because,
Yeah, in my fourth year right now, just really trying to hurry it up to not do school ever again, hopefully. Um, Business economics major, global studies minor. Same as you, I love traveling or what I have done so far in my life. Really great. Going back and forth from Europe and Asia and here, South America, love it. Just really want to see the world, see what's out there as well, and just taking one day at a time, especially with school
that's
now.
it.
It's
That's it.
fall quarter now, so it's like the
Oh,
most
wow.
fun quarter, most distracting quarter, but um,
Yeah.
and I know Halloween's coming up, so everyone's looking forward to that here.
Yeah. When do you finish? December?
Yeah, I should be on track to hopefully graduate December.
Nice.
Um, and just we'll be in LA in the meantime.
And you already got your real estate license, huh?
I do, yes.
And Coldwell Banker, was that just like the first one that you popped on and you're like, these guys are
Yeah,
big name. So you're kind of,
yeah. And also because I worked as an assistant, currently for the team I'm working with right now. They do commercial and residential, mainly commercial,
nice.
all over Beverly Hills, West LA. So that's just kind of the team I'm associated with right now and has, I guess, stuck with
You,
since
are you
then.
are you in WeHo or are you in Beverly Hills?
Westwood right now, but
That's
yeah,
good.
the brokerage is in Beverly Hills.
Okay. Yeah, good area there. It's
Mm,
beautiful. Love
yeah,
that place. I mean, to visit. I
exactly.
know.
Yeah.
I like Florida. So
Yeah, I'm from Orange County originally, so beachy, I
way
guess.
better. Yeah, Orange County's
Yeah, I
nice.
like it so much nicer, easier to drive in. I finally brought my car up here, and the first day I brought my car up here, I got a ticket.
Are you serious?
I know, it was just like for a meter expiring, something that I never worry about in Orange County. I kind of
Yeah.
just parked the car and left, and I forgot about the meters. So
Oh no, not in LA. It's they're
yeah,
Nazis, and it's like a $75 ticket or some stupid thing. And
yeah, I felt so bad paying for it. I was like, why? First
you're
day.
like, I'm smarter than this. I shouldn't be doing this. This
I
is not
know,
me.
yeah. I was literally 2 miles from campus too, so just
Yeah.
my luck.
Well, they do those street sweepers, right? And the street
Yeah,
sweepers come through like every day. And if your car is on the side of the
yeah. They
road,
just
they just.
like they're literally just patrolling the block looking for people like me. So
I've
yeah,
never seen anything like it. It's like the parking Nazis out there. You really kind of like
annoying.
gotta move your
Yeah,
car all the time. You can't. It's just I don't know, too much for me. I'm like I said, East
like
Coast for me.
Florida. Yeah, yeah.
Nice and relaxed here. We have it pretty easy, so compared to you guys out there. But hey, you get to sell multi-million-dollar homes in Beverly Hills, which is not a
It's
bad
great.
commission.
Yeah,
So that's cool. And setting up a podcast out there would be amazing. So
there
you
you
can
go.
like
It's the land of
blow up your.
podcasts. I
Yeah,
feel like a new podcast pops up every day for me in LA. So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
but
I fight an uphill battle competing with everybody out there, but I do okay. I do okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's just a matter of consistency. You got to be able to put out a good message and a
There you
good
go.
show, keep people interested, that kind of thing. So it's it's fun. But real estate, so you've been an assistant for them for a while, so you pretty much know the processes and procedures of
Most for
real
the
estate. But commercial, yeah, mostly.
commercial seems really at least everyone there and people I've talked to, they really believe my personality is more oriented towards commercial. It's very straightforward and analytical, deals with less emotions. Not that I can't deal with that, but I believe also, yeah, for see myself doing commercial for a long time as well.
A lot more
But trying to look
commission.
at it so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good with numbers and math and making ROIs make sense, I mean,
Hmm.
there's no reason not to do commercials where it's
Yeah.
at. You make 10% commission, and you got to sell bigger buildings, you get to do
It's
bigger
like boom,
deals,
boom, boom, one after
but you
another.
got to make it. It has to make sense because the people buying them are going to be looking at numbers. They don't care about, like you said, they're not into the emotional buy.
Exactly.
So
No,
you got.
there's does it
You're
make
like,
sense to
this is
them?
where it makes sense. Bam, look.
Exactly. Yeah. Pen to paper, just like that. Yeah.
Yep. So if you can make the numbers make sense and they like you, you're good. Which obviously, I'm sure you're pretty well connected throughout that area. I imagine you've been out there your whole life, right?
In Orange County mainly. Just
Southern
here.
Cal.
Yeah, SoCal here. Just yeah, I grew up here, but LA for the past 4 years for school. Make my way around. Pretty interesting and very different from each other. It's nice to have that duality now in my life that I can say I'm OC native, but moved to LA and yeah.
Yeah. Soon you'll be able to say that about other countries and about other
Hopefully,
places.
that's
And
the goal. That's the goal. Yeah,
yeah,
international. There's the yeah. I'm
it
recently I'm
happens
currently
quick.
in kind of in the work, not in the works, but I mean, opportunities have popped up for me to potentially find something for someone in Singapore, and I do have family out there, so it's very interesting n- to see, especially that recently I was on a plane and watched Crazy Rich Asians, and that was set in Singapore. So I was just thinking about the real estate of that, and yeah, just insane out there.
I love real Singapore, and I know a lot of people there. So if you need any
Beautiful,
help, let
so
me
clean.
know. I've been there probably a half a dozen times, and
Oh, nice.
if
The
there's
airport,
ever,
great.
yeah, oh my gosh, the airport is amazing. But I mean, the entire city is just flawless. It's perfect.
Hmm.
But also it was wild because I rented a apartment here in Florida from somebody who was an investor, and
Hmm.
he's from Singapore. And when I started renting the place, I didn't think anything of it. Matter of fact, I had no idea where Singapore was on a map. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
little tiny. So years go by, I rent the place, we talk, communicate back and forth, and then all of a sudden I get asked to come out to Singapore to teach yoga. And so I was like, sure. And so I was like, I hit the guy up and was like, hey, I'm headed to Singapore. And he
Nice.
was he goes, really? I'll pick you up from the airport. So he
Turn
did, and
it
then
up.
took me to his house and showed me around and got me connected with my studio owners that I taught for. And then I spent a bunch of time running around Singapore doing fun stuff because it's such a cool place. I mean,
It is, and the food. Just last time I was there, I just wish I could take everything back.
I
And
know, right? You're like,
yeah,
please let me have all this everywhere. And
no
the
prices,
gardens. Oh,
quality.
yeah. We go, okay, we're lost on Singapore. We need to go there. So yeah, I mean transactions out there are a big deal because you
Yeah.
can't buy there unless you're Singaporean. You
Exactly.
gotta
Yeah.
have stuff. So and everyone in Singapore is a millionaire, which is
Crazy
kind of cool
rotations. Yeah.
because property value so expensive. But so you're gonna practice overseas too.
I feel like there's so much, to do with this. Yeah, I've been kind of, I'm 21, planning my life out, or so I think I am, and
Right.
I definitely see myself, doing stuff overseas based on, like family in Asia and just the roots I have there. Yeah, because I was actually born there in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, and moved here. Family moved us when I was 2. Grew up here since. So yeah, like it'll always have a special place in my heart, flying back and forth and
It's a
just
beautiful
taking
country.
everything I know here now, and so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And the having the language down is big. Especially because there's a lot of investors over there
Hmm.
that buy over here, and they just want an agent they can talk to that will manage the properties. I mean, this guy that I rented from had like 10 properties. He'd never seen any of them, and so
Wow.
he just bought them and invested in them, and then someone put renters
Yeah,
in them, and then he sold them like
building that
just
portfolio up, it's great.
exactly, exactly. So that's killer. Well, West Coast to Asia's not so bad. Over here to there is a long way.
Mhm.
First
Yeah.
trip to Singapore from LA was 18 hours. I was like, on one flight, 18
Oh
hours.
wow, yeah, I remember being that. Yeah, my
Yeah,
parents are currently in the Philippines right now, and I think it was a 13-hour flight for them. I'm not sure. But,
LAX to Singapore is 18 hours and 1 minute.
oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, it's a long flight. I got on there and was like, I slept for 8 hours and went, wow, I still have 10 hours left. What am I going to do? Watched a lot of movies. It was pretty
yeah,
cool.
back to back, back to back.
So tell me about your hobbies and stuff. What else are you into? It looks like I was reading your LinkedIn just a few minutes ago, and it looks like you've got a
Just
lot of things that you do. So you must stay pretty busy.
Kind of for the most part, with real estate, half and half. It's LA. It's kind of expected. It's the land of that. Social media is a big interest of mine. Kind of been working with brands and stuff as ambassador roles and media marketing roles kind of since freshman year of college.
Oh,
I
nice.
moved to LA and was like really infatuated with the whole like TikTok influencer scene. Was like, you know what, let's try my hand at this. More so Instagram. So yeah, like since then, just kind of been doing a bunch of fashion things, photography, working at brands like Princess Polly, Addicted, like Prada Beauty, Valentino Beauty. Very, just trying to make my way there. And
Marketing
yeah, just really really
mostly.
cool. And, yeah, video
Social
content
media. Nice.
and reels and stuff, and yeah, and
That that stuff will come in handy in real estate too.
yeah,
Doing good
yeah.
on social media gives you a big platform to reach people. So
I think especially I know a lot of people here watch stuff like Selling Sunset, and as I guess close as that is to how real estate is like here, I guess it's just the value of it's so important, and I just like it grabs people's attention. Anything that'll grab people's attention nowadays is it's the biggest way to some form of success because
yeah,
people are like that now. So yeah, just starting
it's
to kind
target
of
marketing.
exactly realize that, understand that, and know that there's just so much to do out there when it comes to online. So
Doing a social media page in Philippine. How do you say it? The language.
oh, and
And
then Tagalog, well, yeah.
yeah, doing a whole page like dedicated to showing people
Hmm.
how Beverly Hills, but in your native language, would
That'd
be
be
a
cool.
really powerful tool because people over there that are shopping for real estate would be like, hey,
Hmm.
good, we're going to Google or look on social media for a Filipino realtor. So I mean, that would be something I would do is just do and you could do them in English but from somebody that's done marketing my whole life and been pretty successful on social media.
Hmm.
That's what I would do if I was you. I would start doing that right now. Just start doing tours of homes, start anything that anybody's selling. You know what I mean? Just build
Yeah,
a page in your native language so that the Filipino people that are interested in investing, when they Google it, you pop up. That's
there
kind
we
of
go.
a niche
The
market.
go-to person. Yeah, my dad actually mentioned that. He was like, you got to get like narrower, 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 and I'm like, I'm trying, but
Yeah, that's it.
it's
I
kind
mean,
of
that's going to separate
yeah,
you from everybody else. Because there's
exactly harder
a lot
to
of
just.
pretty realtors out there, but not that have skills,
Yeah,
talents that
there you
are unique. So it's
go.
plus social media is a blast, but also
It's fun. It's
you
really
can
fun
win.
now. Yeah, I find it really fun now. It's not draining. If anything, it's just kind of me going about my life or, um, just trying to put fun stuff out there, put fun vibes out there. So,
Now you got to
yeah.
figure out how to transfer that over to real estate, and that way you've got the
Hmm.
same type of
The age-old
effectiveness.
question. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But yeah,
Exactly,
good way to
exactly.
figure it out.
It's certainly challenging. It takes time, it takes
Yeah. Hmm.
patience, and it takes a lot of, like you said, attention too. You got to be creative with the way you go about
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
really have to kind of like spend time working it. It doesn't
Hmm.
just. People ask me all the time. They're like, "Chris, you got a 500,000 followers on Instagram," and I'm like,
Yeah. Zach was telling me about your yoga stuff, right?
yeah, yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, when you travel and go to like the most beautiful places in the world with the most beautiful women in the world and do the coolest stuff in the world, people tend to follow you. Like, I didn't ask
It,
for it. I
it
don't.
catches, yeah, like a lot of these travel vloggers, I'm like, yeah, their videos are so interesting, and it's kind of it's a successful formula that they got going down, just rinse and repeat and have fun along the way.
Yeah, and that's really what happened. I mean, it was years of me traveling and doing that, and then basically,
Nice.
once I stopped traveling, I lost, a lot of people because obviously I wasn't doing the cool gig anymore. But COVID happened, so I got planted and stuck, and et
Mm-hmm.
cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But and it was never important to me anyway. It was I
Yeah,
didn't even know you could monetize social media until all of a sudden I
we
started getting
live a lot
checks.
of lives nowadays. That's
Yeah,
okay. Just let 'em
exactly,
live, but
exactly.
yeah.
And you're at an age where you're like far more in the know than I am because I have no idea about any of this stuff. I'm always like, I don't even know how to check this, or I don't know how to check this. And my sponsors are like, hey, Chris, can you send us these numbers? And I'm like,
You're like, what is
yeah,
that?
certainly try. I don't know. Like, but I think it's that authenticity too that I'm not so like obsessed. That makes it
Hmm.
even more successful because people realize, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, he's successful online, but he doesn't have that air, that ego, or that whatever, that people
Yeah.
sometimes can carry around with it, because it really doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like it's cool, I guess, but I always joke that I couldn't get 3 people to follow me to the park if I wanted to right now here at my house, and yet I've got a 500,000 people. Plus, I look at it like there's a lot of like crazy people in the world, and I got to figure that at least 10% of my followers are probably pretty crazy. Which, if you have a
Crazy good,
half a
crazy bad.
million,
I don't know.
that's like 50,000 people that are crazy.
That's a whole
that's, a,
stadium. That's a stadium of crazy people. Yeah.
that's a terrifying idea, right? So I don't check in or clock in wherever I'm at. I make sure I wait and post wherever, later on. So
Yeah.
there's no, because it's just not I used to tell people in LA, especially the girls, I'm like, do not check in where you are every day. I'm literally like, I'm in Florida. I could catch a flight right now and I could abduct you tomorrow. I said, you should post your whole schedule.
Yeah.
It's so
Like,
terrible.
I'm gonna be at the highlight room. They're gonna be
Right, by myself, and it's like, you really think this is a good idea? Like,
every bad movie ever has or where like a plot line like that where
exactly. The whole time you're going, really, really.
like, it could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. Yeah.
No yellow flags, red flags, nothing. You didn't see anything going on there. Okay,
Yeah.
well, different world though. Like I said, we never had this stuff when I was growing up. So social media to me, and the whole following aspect, and talking to people and telling people about your life that you never have met, was really uncomfortable. So I'm glad that you're so comfortable with it, because it's going to be fun to let you do your thing
I
and
think
impart the little bit of wisdom I have into you.
I just think my entire generation were big oversharers, so that's probably why
Yeah,
this really takes
that's for sure.
yeah.
That's a good way to put it. You're
Mhm.
overshares. That's actually a really great way to put it. You could probably do an entire podcast on oversharing.
On oversharing, yeah, and all while oversharing myself. So
oversharing, oversharing by oversharing.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
hey, I mean, in the
you're
real
on
estate world, that's knowledge that you're giving people on houses, real estate, the market, the economy, everything else. And so, putting together ROIs and making sense of them. Oversharing in that world is probably not a bad thing. You kind of want to give them all the info they can, and that way
yeah,
there's no objections. Overcoming the objection, right? That's the big
exactly.
big step that everybody has trouble with. In your case, you really aren't going to have that issue, because you know exactly what you got to do. And once you know that, it's basically just a formula. Like you said, it's a systematic formula of
Mhm.
do this, do this, do this, do this. And guess what? It's going to work. Plus,
Yeah,
authenticity goes a long way. If you're likable, you're easy to talk to, people will talk to you. They'll tell you everything. And then once you know everything, you can kind of
yeah.
guide them along the way.
Mhm.
It's 20 years I've been doing real estate, and it's I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, it gave me a retirement early in life and allowed me to open up a lot of doors, But I use my platforms now with podcasting and yoga and that kind of stuff to reach people that want to work with somebody they trust, because ultimately that's what it's about, right? Earning people's trust as a realtor. I mean, if I'm going to give you $10 million of my money, I need to know that you're going to make a wise decision with it. So it's like, you've got to earn their trust. And probably the biggest challenge as a young female realtor just out of college is showing them that you're that person. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing for a 46-year-old guy who's been doing it for 20 years to ask for $10 million. It's another thing for a 21-year-old girl, but it's not, doesn't mean you can't. It just means you've got to like elevate it up a little bit. You can't
Yeah,
rely on your experience to convince them. You got to rely on your talent.
exactly. Yeah.
So, but that seems like that's not a problem for you. You seem very confident and seem like you've got a lot going on. So it's exciting. I can't wait to see what you're going to do.
Putting it together, yeah. Thank
Are
you.
you focused in Beverly Hills or primarily? Or, I mean, does it seem like there's a lot of commercial room over there last time I was out there?
Mainly downtown LA, actually, yeah. Kind of helping out my team with this like warehouse that is like a big old textile factory thing, kind of like close to Crypto Arena. So a lot of stuff there, and I know that there's talks about Inglewood that's up and coming.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, mainly because of the stadium. So like I guess the lore is that past decade stadium, and now everything like small stuff from body shops to little retail shops. Like a lot of things are kind of up and coming there in Inglewood. So there's a lot of real estate stake there
Wow.
that I'm trying to help or trying to get into myself. So
They're
yeah,
gentrifying the Inglewood, huh?
I know. It's about like we in my lifetime, like it was bound to happen, right? It's bound
Right.
to happen.
Had to happen. Exactly. Nobody went to Inglewood 20 years ago.
That's
There
what I've
was,
heard. That's what I've heard.
yeah, it was it simply wasn't the place to go. But I'm
Mhm.
glad to see that gentrification is happening everywhere. I mean, it's not
That
a
ain't
bad thing. It just kind of
not a
stinks
bad
for
thing. That's
certain
good.
people.
Yeah. Seeing
And that's
seeing
where
something
people,
out of it for other people. So
right? Yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, right?
Mhm.
Evolution is going to happen. There's always going to be growth. And as long as you're in the way, you're going to get swept up in it. And it's not personal. People just take
Yeah.
things personal. And if they
Yeah.
weren't so attached to things, I think
Mhm.
that's probably the other thing is like, hey, look, you're going to get good money. You're going to get good this out of whatever it is that's happening. And usually that's the case. Anytime a gentrification happens, it's a really strong market. Like that's, like you said, Inglewood growing is huge. I mean, the opportunity to gentrify that is, as a realtor, you can make a lot of money and build a really cool community that needs to be built. That needs to be done. So, I mean, that's
Mhm.
like maybe 20 years from now, you're going to be the person that put it back together and made it what it was, made it what it is today, or 20 years from now today. And you'll be able to go, huh, I did that. That's cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you'll have like some real estate going on in Singapore and overseas and all that other stuff
The
too.
dream. That's the dream. Yeah.
Well, you're underway now. You're almost there. I think you have to expand a little with your brokerage because obviously there's a global market and then there's local market. Does Coldwell
Yeah.
Banker do overseas? Are they international?
Yeah. There are branches, in other parts of the world. So I'm assuming,
Really?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that aware or never worked for them, so I've only been with about 10 different agencies, but I don't think no, I've never been with Coldwell Banker, so I don't actually know. But either way, you got to have an avenue to reach those people. Plus, I'm sure the market's different over there. Contracts are different, paperwork's different,
Hmm.
everything's different. Are you guys? But I guess commercial, it's probably pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really a lot of difference. That's the other thing I forget is that residential's totally different than commercial. Commercial's where it's at. You just have to have your own money, I think, right? Isn't that the trick?
Yeah, it's because there's also a
Because
lot of that like development side, that it's like the deal is, like I guess everyone starts out as residential, build that capital up yourself for the business, just to take that money and put it somewhere else. And I guess
yeah,
that's where commercial comes in, and that's where, yeah, the big bucks start rolling in because it's all these deals that are crazy zeros, and that's what I want.
plus you got to live like sometimes 8 months, 10 months before you close and then get paid.
Mhm.
So it's like if you don't have a nest egg or a little bit of money away, then you're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not going to make it in the commercial market because it
Maybe
could be a year
residential
between
in the
paychecks.
meantime, then it's too
Slinging
close.
houses on the side or
Yeah.
condos. You can do condos. There's a lot of condos in Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah, Wilshire is just flooded with them.
It's just absurd. What is the
Yeah.
market like over there? How much is it? What is the square footage price?
Ooh, not really
Be
sure.
interesting
I
to
know
see.
that. Yeah, I'm like, I know that purchase prices roll like for a standard two bedroom, I guess, like 1.5 already.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Um,
I would have thought they were
More.
higher.
We recently just did something that was a little under a million, but yeah, it was like a two bedroom, pretty rundown, but on Wilshire, so like prime location, like around like 900. So
Wow. In
yeah,
Beverly Hills for under a mil. That's a
for it's
steal.
like a 1.2K square foot condo, I believe.
Has it gone up or down price wise over the last couple of years? I mean, I know there's a lot of
Definitely
change
up. Yeah,
happening.
definitely up.
Yeah, still getting increases.
Hmm.
That's wild. As to me, it seems like everybody's moving to Florida, but
I know. I keep hearing about Californians just picking it up and moving. Yeah, currently we're doing a lot of absentee properties right now, and looking it up on records. A lot of these owners literally live either in Texas, Florida,
yeah.
New York, so anywhere but California apparently.
I think they just need a place to put their money, and
Hmm.
California is such a nice, I mean, because why wouldn't you live in California? It's
It's
amazing.
great.
Other than politics, I guess, but
Mm,
that's not really a thing, to each his own, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, I choose not to live out there just because it's a different lifestyle. But I did live out there. I lived in Santa Monica for years, and it was fun. I mean, I
yeah.
enjoyed it, but it's just a different pace, a different way of life. I mean, I always joke that like on any type of app that you use that has like a distance radius thing.
Hmm.
In Florida, we'll set it to like 60 miles, gap. In LA, you don't go outside 2 miles.
There's a lot
because
within 2 miles, yeah, and 2 miles takes like an hour even with traffic.
that's what I mean. There's nobody going to go 3 miles. That's absurd.
No,
Especially if you're like in WeHo or in, in Venice or somewhere. You're not going to drive up to West Hollywood to go meet someone or, so it's like it's a different world. You realize that all of a sudden there's this many people in this little area, and it's true,
exactly.
and
Good,
it's
good and
smushed.
bad. Like I had
Yeah,
a 6 p.m. flight a couple weeks ago, and that for me that means leaving Westwood at 3 p.m. because the rush hour traffic just already starts at like 3:30, and going down the 405 to LAX is not fun
no,
at that
no.
time at all.
I don't know that there's ever not rush hour in LA.
Mm.
I feel like you could drive somewhere at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning and it's like dead stop traffic. And I'm like, where's
I'm
everyone going?
personally preparing for the when the Olympics roll around in LA. I don't think anyone's going to be ready for that at all.
Nah, when is that? Is that coming up next
I
time?
think it's 2028, the next one, right? Yeah,
Okay,
2028.
wow. Wow, yeah, that's going to be
I think I think I should just plan a vacation that entire time. Not do it.
You'd just be gone for the whole
Yes,
Olympics.
close business up, just be anywhere but LA. So
That's right. Anywhere but LA. We've got the Orlando's going to host the FIFA World Cup, I think, next
oh,
year.
that'll be
So it's
fun. I
going to
would
be
I would go to that. Yeah, that sounds
certainly
great.
going to be a different situation though. Like over here, it'll be
That'd be
wild.
cool.
It's
Yeah, I
like,
can imagine the football soccer community, is really big down there. I'm assuming.
yeah, and then we have good weather and we have nice stadiums and that
Mm,
kind of stuff. So, but we'll see how well we are outfitted for that kind of amount of people. Like Orlando is
yeah,
not exactly like a main spot for hosting stuff. I mean, we have a lot of convention centers and things like that, but
what's the
it's a
stadium that it's going to be
it,
in?
they have two soccer state. Well, we have an arena, which is
Oh,
where
it's
pro
going to be
basketball
converted.
plays. They're going to convert it over to soccer,
Nice.
and
I
then we
see. I
also
see.
have a professional soccer stadium because we have a professional soccer team, but
Mhm.
it's kind of small. So I think those are going to be the two hubs, and then they've got a couple other fields laid out for. I don't really know how it's going to work. I just know it's going to be a mess for a bit because
Gotcha.
there's going to be a lot of people. Like people that have not been around the world underestimate the power of soccer,
Oh, it's the
football.
biggest sport. Yeah, it's the biggest sport in the world. Yeah.
And I mean, like these people take it seriously. Like they kill each other over stuff. Like
I
it's
can imagine. I've never seen a live soccer game, but I've always wanted to. I had
oh
the
my,
opportunity to almost see Real Madrid when I was in Barcelona a few years ago, but I don't know, I just couldn't get a ticket because yeah, it was literally sold out and so
it's
fast.
nuts. Yeah, and so I'm anxious to see how America and Florida and Central
Mhm.
Florida handles such a massive amount of influx. But I mean, we have a new international airport here, so we're kind of like,
Oh,
I guess I
nice.
get it. We got Disney, we got Universal, we got all the trade show floors, that kind of stuff. So I mean,
Mhm.
outside of Vegas, probably Orlando is probably the biggest hub for that
For like
kind of stuff.
entertainment and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it'll work out. I don't know. I just don't think the infrastructure's here, to support that kind of thing. But what do I know? I didn't
You
do
guys got a
any.
year. So
That's right. We'll find out. It'll be interesting to see. I guarantee it'll be better than LA will be with the
oh,
Olympics.
we're still not construction has been going on for how many years? For this like metro line that's supposed to take I don't know where it's
Are they
supposed to
still
run.
working on that?
Yeah, some metro like thing that's supposed to run either to NorCal or to San Diego. I don't know, but it's still going on.
They've been building that for, I don't know. The last time I was out there was 2019, I think, and I was,
Yeah,
it was
not
a
ready.
mess. Not even still
Yeah,
not ready. Not even close.
no.
It's not even on the table. Well, hey, it'd give you a good opportunity to get ahead of everything and start marketing for commercial business for the Olympics.
Hmm.
Maybe you can get some people to like, buy some space to be able to train in or whatever, prepare for
Okay.
whatever, that kind of thing. Figure out some clients
Ideas,
that you can
ideas.
lease.
Yeah.
Yeah, lease spaces to people, contact
Mm,
sponsors, say, hey, do you want to have a place to host out of, that kind of thing. You can make
yeah.
some money, real money, that's kind of get ahead of the curve, think ahead of everybody else, and be ready to go.
For
That
your
way
for
you're,
your project, I can.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And that way you're starting now so that when everybody else figures out what you're doing, you're already done. You're like, I already got it. I'm good.
Two
But
seconds
that's
after the second. There you go.
so you can tell I made good money in real estate because I was always ahead of the power curve, always kind of
Yeah.
figuring things out in
I'll look
advance.
back
And
to this timestamp and I'll save it for the records.
that's it. That's it. Well, that's awesome. I look forward to chatting with you more and getting some more time with you, and we'll do some podcast hosting as well, so you can take over the
Yeah.
West Coast because there's a lot of people out there, a lot of agents. So you'll have
Mhm.
a good time doing it too. It's really a lot of fun. We get
Thank
to
you. Looking
talk
forward
real
to it.
estate, learn from everybody, and
Mhm.
market yourself even further. So I'm excited.
Yeah. All right.
It
Thank
was
you, Chris.
very nice to meet you, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Bye, Charlize.
Bye.